Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Jewel, and as you can see we're on the Jewel's Peaceful Valley map. Over here on the edge. I still haven't pushed this down. I'm planning to push it down where you can't see that there's a line there. It's going to be under the water enough that you shouldn't be able to see that that's the edge. So hopefully the effect will be a nice view out without it looking like it's on an edge pretty much. But I was thinking, not sure yet, I'm going to test it out, of potentially putting a house right here on the top of the hill. Then they have a decent view, but and again we still may have a little bit of trees here, so we maybe will make it where they can view that, or I'm not sure yet. It's a work in progress. What I was thinking is a lot of trees and mountainous stuff's going to be up here, I think. We may have more trees up in this area here. What I was trying to do though is see about making some builds over here. We're not going to make them yet. We're painting them down, but I want them to have a nice, you know, a slope area. I just don't want it to be too steep. This side doesn't look as steep. That side's a little tall, but I think we could manage it. Again, I would have to test it in game. Would need to come to the top of this one. I still haven't adjusted all this to make it look right. We may have to even add some rocks to it to make it look right. As you can see here, the jagged edges just ain't looking right. But in game, sometimes they do. But then when you smooth it, it looks worse. So it's hard to say what we'll do with that. We'll see when we get there. But maybe I should come up higher here with the house. On this one, maybe right here. Of course, I'm going to have the boundary. I don't know if I'm going to make the boundary right in line where you can barely get in the water. So like you fall off the cliff edge and you land down here and you're able to swim, because I'm going to make it low enough that you can swim, and I'll paint it however, and then you're just going to hit the boundary, but you'll be like you're in the water and you'll see, and then you could swim as far as as close as I put it. I'm not sure, and we would have to bring some of this back a little, take some more out, but we'll see what happens when I do the boundary. I haven't put it in yet, so we'll see on that. You're not gonna be able to see past there that there's an issue. You'll just see that it's a cliff, and then you can't see. You won't be able to swim out and see this part up in the air like that. Okay, so I was thinking doing the house. Let's just look at it. It's subject to change. We'll see. Alright, so I wonder how close. Just in case we end up doing the boundary closer. Let me back up so I can see. So we would have to, obviously, if we decide that's just water. If we decide we're not going to let them go even off that far, we'd have to put it here. But then I don't want them to be that far away from the edge. I want them to be able to see the whole point of this area is like a cliff area. So I was hoping they would be able to go over. We'll have to see. I won't put the house too close to the edge in case I do move it, or we could always move the house if that's an issue. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you need to learn about map making, look at my playlist and go back and watch. You can tell when it does the Farming Simulator 22 stuff, you could start from there or go back to the Farming Simulator 19 stuff if you wish, depending on what you're working on. So I'm going to pull it over far enough, maybe to here. So I already have a house highlighted. I'm at least going to pull it in over here. I'm going to hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click, and I accidentally clicked it, so I got to hit undo once and then click off of it. There we go. Because it changed. If you hit it on this thing, it changes the size, the scale. So there's that. Now we'll go back to this because I had it. It should have been on that. Let me go back to that. Hang on. Let's try this again. Okay, so it showed that it was on there. Okay, I'm just making sure it brought the right spot. Control B as in boy, left mouse click, left mouse click. Alright. Just checking. So let's have a look at it. It's just a little two-story house. Figured it'd be nice over here. We're gonna have to adjust the ground accordingly. Trying to decide how would we want this part to be. We could make them have a back deck to view from. We'll have to think on that. So if I turn it this way, depends on which way we put a road as well. So then they see us up the hill there, and you coming up the hill like that. So we can either move it back a little. Let's see what we got here. Move it back and over. Okay. Let me just have a look. Obviously we might adjust the ground, or we might not, depending. Sometimes it looks better when you don't adjust the ground because it's natural. I just gotta make sure it all goes underneath the, the ground is at least covering what it needs to cover. Let's see how far that's. Okay, so we need to lift it a little, potentially. So we don't want to go too high, as you can see. Right there looks okay. We can tap that down if we need to. That's not bad. We're all the way around. The ground looks natural. I didn't have to, I don't want to make every single house area flat. So I'm thinking we're okay right now. Oh, wait a minute. What's that? Okay. So that is in the air. So typically, just seems odd how that looks. Almost like they want you to go on down, but it looks okay. I think we're good. So I think that's going to be good there. We're going to smooth this a little bit. We're going to click on the sculpt mode. I'm going to roll down with my scroll wheel down. And I already have it on smooth on the right mouse button, as you see over here to your left. And I'm going to hit that right mouse button, just tapping this down just a hair to make that look a little bit better for the steps. Because usually you want your people coming down steps and having it pretty level. Oops, undo that. Went too far. Alright, so we're going to take care of that. I think that's probably enough. Let me look. Get this off of there. Alright, come on now. It's pretty good there. I mean, they got their steps and everything. I think that's alright. They have a little downhill situation going on. Alright. But if we do put fields here, then obviously, you're going to want probably a shed and that kind of thing. But that's going to be difficult to have up here because of how that is. But you don't always have a shed by your house. So what we could do, let me see, we need parking as well. So I don't know if we're going to put the parking up here. I think we're going to put the parking up here. So let's paint down something to show that somehow they drove up and they got to the back side of the house for their park at. Like right here. Maybe we'll put gravel. Let me see. Where are we going to put the road is the question. Because I'm going to throw the fields some on this side maybe and some on the other side. But the other ones might be for a different house. We may put a different house for another field. So let me see. I think I'm going to go ahead and paint some sort of field down. Let me back off of it a little bit so I can see. It's kind of hard to see it with this the ground the way it is. Let's put it on the paintbrush and then put it on, well, you can leave it on replace. We're going to find our color, let's see, dirt for now. And we're going to put it back on round brush. I'm going to make it more natural looking, hopefully. So I'm figuring they're gonna have to drive up there somehow. So somehow we're gonna have to make it where at least a vehicle can get to the back at least park. Well, if we put a deck here, I don't know, we may park the car on this side. We'll have to see what it looks like when we get going. Alright, so let's paint that some of this is a field. Alright, so I don't know how big I want to go with it, because it looks smaller in here, but it's actually quite big. And we're gonna have to see, how shall we do this? Do y'all want a big field here or not? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go down close where I can actually see it, because that's another whole deal. And then just wrap that like so. We're just trying to touch that up. Alright, then let's go in just to look, just to see what we got going on here with the ground. Okay, so we got a decent slope. I don't know how our tractor would do, but and we got enough room between the house that a vehicle could get, or we could bring him up from this side. However we need to do it. Alright, let's see what we got here. So if we're up here, we'd see our field like so. This is what our view would be. Let me drop down so we can actually see what our view would be. This would be our player view. Okay, my computer's like, no, you're not. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So once we start going down, that's a decent sized field. But should we take it further, or how shall we do it? Or separate and then have another, so we could put trees up there and have another section of field here potentially. Is that too steep for a field though? We may have to, I may have to go in game and look. Look how steep that is. That is so steep. You can't tell it unless you're in game. It's just super steep. Let me see. Maybe we should come down further off of that. I mean, it's good to have some that are up there, but I don't know, maybe we're too high. Maybe we should put it further down here. That's a steep hill. Wow. Alright, let me get out of that. Escape out of that. Let me get up here again so I can see. Honestly, the bottom part seems better. I mean, it don't look bad, but it's just not. It seems so steep. We might go look in game and see how steep that is. I think that's pretty steep. I think we have a better option than going like that. Let me look at it. Should we part it out? Let me try something. Let me take that away. Control R as in Richard, and take that away a minute. Get it a little bit further down the hill for a reason. Alright, Control R over the dirt to grab the dirt again. Alright, let's see something. I just want to look at it so I can see the shape that we get, and we could do. Let me see. Because I want us to go pretty close down, like so. Alright, now let me back off where I can actually see. Okay, so let's get up here. That looks better, but we still gotta get the shape right. Okay, we're not gonna go quite that far. I don't know if we're gonna go quite that far to the edge. We'll see. We might back off a hair right there. But as far as this, we could part that and make some sort of shape with it. So let's try that. Get it? I think I might have clicked the wrong thing. Yep. Alright. Control R. I accidentally made a group. I'll have to delete it. You see over there I made a transform group. I bumped the G instead of what I wanted. I wanted the R. Alright, give us a little room on this side, okay? Because we got tractor stuff too. You gotta remember, I gotta take some away from the edge. Because you got stuff that you gotta deal with. Remember, you got when you're driving a tractor and stuff. So, okay, so let's check that. Now let me go back down so I can see. Alright, so do we have enough room? Maybe. Alright, so we want to cut that out. So we're gonna take this off that because we don't want it on that. We might take it a little further over here though. Control R. We might do it a little bit right there. Just not far. Okay. That's some of this will be more rounded, or however we do it. It ain't gonna look like that. In fact, let's try to straighten this out a little bit. It's not what I had in mind. There we go. So we got that, and that's okay. A field can be there, and that could be trees. And so we're good there. And it looks like we're okay coming down. It's still steep, but some of them are, you know, some of them are steep. So I'm hoping that's not too steep. If it is, we can raise it up a little. We can bring it up. But I'm thinking we can split this somehow and make it whatever shapes we want. We could either do threes, make three somehow, or let me see. Let's get this over here. Some of that's too steep, so we'll have to smooth it. Alright, let me see. Let's pull this here. Let me see. Take and go green. Okay. Turn some of that away. Let's see. Maybe we take some off of this. Give it a little shape. And then, what size am I at? Let me go where I can see it. 1.2. Okay. About right there, I think. And we'll say we're gonna split the field. Potentially. How about like that or something? This one can be taken away on the corner here and round it a little bit. Like that. Roughly speaking. Give this a little more curve. Give it some shape. I don't like it how it's, there we go. Alright, let's round this up a little bit. Let's wonder if we should take that corner. Whoops, undo that. Okay, let's take that like that. And we got two. Wonder if we should bring this in further. Let's take Or we could bring it further up. Let me think. Let's take this off. Like so. And then bring it on this side. Because we're too close to that. Let's give it some shape. We're going to have to go in game and check it, but it may be terrible and we'll have to just do something else. We'll see. Okay. And I'm going to pull down a little more. Get this curve up here. Try to get us some sort of shape going. Curve it here. Curve it here. Maybe something like that. Maybe a little more curve here. Trying to not take too much away though. Something like that. Just something. We're gonna go look in game and see what our how the ground shape's looking. So see, then well, we might have to make that wider, but I'll see when I get in game. Looks a little bit. Let's make it a little wider. A little bit wider. And then curve this some. Actually, let me get the dirt and then come this way with that one. There we go. That might look a little better. Roughly speaking. Might have to take a little more grass out. We'll leave it for now till we go in game and see the distance. Leave that one so we can tell. Probably end up having to curve that out. But that's the shape. Let's just go have a look. Obviously we gotta fix this side. But see where we're at up here. I don't know how we are on this field. We'll see. We may have to go bigger on this piece. Let's go ahead and go a little bigger. Let's see. So a little bit bigger. Kind of curve him like that. Something like so. Maybe not go as deep on this one. Okay. Let's go have a look. Is that too steep? It's pretty steep, honestly. That piece is what I'm concerned with. This piece. We may pull it down and have it curve here. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to take away that and make it curve in. Because that part's pretty steep on that corner. Now let's try it. Okay, see, we're not on that highest part, but we're still pretty steep. Let's go in game real quick and have a look. You know, that'd be good. And I'm thinking we can put a shed here. So I left a little bit more room there. Alright, so we're gonna hit save. We're gonna run in game. Give it a check. I should have took that away, but that's fine. Alright, what I'm gonna do actually is put my career... Well, no I'm not, because I gotta drive here anyway. And I don't want to move all the rest of the stuff, so that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and delete this, because I didn't mean to make it. And hit save again. And then we should be alright. We'll go check it in the game real quick. Just to see what the field, how it feels. Because that's going to be the thing that makes the difference. So, hold on just a second and I'll show you when we get in game. Alrighty, now we're in game. Now I gotta, I'm on the farm, my main farm. I'm not finished here yet, but we're gonna probably go ahead and go to the city escape. Where are we gonna go? Let me see. Vehicle shop. Yeah. Alright, so let's order um, the vehicle that we need. Let me see what I want. I might get the smallest tractor to see what it can do with that hill or not. I don't know if I should get the very smallest. What is the difference? Let's look at it. 2.924. They're pretty close. Let's see what that says. 68 horsepower. Okay. Let's get this one just to see if it'll tell us anything. Alright. That's fine. Yellow's fine. I don't care about none of that right now. What is this? Oh, that's the wheels. That's fine. Okay, lease. Yes, yes. Back. Now I'm gonna get... We're not gonna do any work. I'm just getting something to drag behind it or do something with it. Checking to see how it works. And we really need to test the harvester. So let me think. What do I want? Maybe we'll just get either a plow or a cultivator or something. Let's do that. Let's get one of these. I'm assuming that one can handle this one. So that's what we're gonna do, just to see if it can even drive up the hill. I just want to see what it can do. Okay, so I believe I leased it. Let's get out and look. Yep, there it is. Let's go get in. Let's see what we got here. Alright. Oh, this thing turns well. I wasn't expecting that. Wow, I like this one. Some of mine don't, when I've played lately or recently or before, they didn't turn as well as this. Alright, so we're not through, but you can get a little look at the map while we're driving. That's going to be a bump. We didn't fix it. We're not worried with that right now. So I'm not finished with the roads. I didn't even really started much with them. I'm getting everything laid out. We're going to head off over here. See what we can do. It's way over there, so it's going to take a minute. I don't know if I should just drive there and then come back or let y'all see the view. Now everything's in the air, as you can see, so that's just working on the map. No big deal. Ignore all the floating things. Alright, let's get going here. Well, it's going 27. That's decent. Alright, we got this here. Temporary. We haven't put bridges or nothing. This is just temporary to get over the water. And we're gonna run on over there and drive up the hill and just kind of see how it feels, what it does. I think it'll work just fine. Of course, we would need to do maybe a harvester or something. That might have trouble. We'll have to see. I'm not sure which way I need to go to get there. I'm hoping I put a bridge across that other part. I don't think I did. Did I? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, maybe I did. I didn't think I did, but I did. I put one across every one of them, I think. So let's do this one and see if this one gets us over there. Temporary. A little bridge or what have you. Just something there to get us to be able to test. It's a nice little drive. We ain't finished, obviously. You can see a lot of we got to do. But I like the water. It looks good. We got some edges to button up over there. Got a lot of opportunity here to hopefully make it look decent. Let's see what we got here. We're getting closer. Then we can run up that hill and see. But as you can see, it's handling it pretty good. Oh, this is a little harder. See, that's what I'm concerned with. See, it's just 14. Well, that's not too bad. But of course, if you have the cultivator down, it would be a little slower. But you can see how the hills are. So definitely got my work cut out for me. Try to get it. I'm trying to pick out some field spots and then the tree spots, but it's gonna be, see, there we go. Now I'm holding it full. Okay, it was just my keyboard, I guess, because I was holding it full throttle and it wasn't going, so I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so sometimes mine just stops. I don't know what it does that for while I'm holding the key down. That's a good area for some fields. See? And then we could put trees maybe on some of the tops of them, but you don't want it all like that. You don't mind the hill. It's just, you don't mind the field going over the whole hill, is what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? So, alright, there's the house. I don't know where our road's going to end up. I don't know what this is going to end up. We'll see what happens. Trying to get on over there. As you can see, we'll have a road somewhere. Probably at the top of that hill, maybe. I don't know. Make more sense, probably. Alright, we're almost there. We can see the fields a little bit. Let's see what happens. Let's pretend we went from this side. Maybe there's a road here. And we're coming along and there's a road somehow. And we come up. We'll have to adjust the ground, obviously. And we can see the field. We may make it on top of that piece. But then we can see I'm hitting something. Okay, I'm definitely hitting something. Oh boy. What am I hitting? It looks like a invisible like boundary or something. Okay, so that's what that looks like. That's what the house looks like. Let's see if I can get up there. No, I must have a boundary there. But I never put one, I don't think. So, let me try to go around it. Okay, so that's good to know. I gotta check on that. See if there is any. Maybe I did have them there. But I didn't never finalize them. So anyway, you'd come, and here's your field. And so say you were gonna do it. We'll just pretend. We're not trying to really I haven't set it up to do it, so we're just gonna see 9 miles an hour, so that's okay. And then you come along, and then see, here's your view. You got the water view, got the mountain view, and just pretend we're just halfway going along here. So that's okay. And then you got that water view. That's a pretty view if you're working. You know, then you're coming up and you're like, oh look, that's a nice view. And it's a big hard hill, so it went from 9. I'm hitting something. I'm hitting that wall again. There's a boundary. It's got to be. I'll have to go in and move it or check it or see what's up with it. Okay, so we'll just have to go next to the boundary. But as you can see, you got a nice view until we hit the boundary again. I didn't know the boundary was there. I didn't realize I'd left it. That's funny. But that's a good view when you're working, ain't it? I like it. If we leave it open like that. And so it's going okay till we hit this boundary. Oh, it's annoying. So anyway, when the boundaries moves, you'll know that it's okay. It looks like we're driving along okay. Come here and get in there. Okay. Come around. Go and do the next part. Unfortunately, the boundary I think is going to block me from getting over there to test the width of that green, but we can kind of get a glimpse of it if we get as close as we can. I'm not trying to. Alright, let's see if we can get over a little bit. So it needs to be a little wider. But it's pretty close. Look at it. It's decent. A little bit wider. Maybe one more width. The same width. A little, like we'd double it. Because some of the tractors and equipment are bigger. So that part's okay. Let me see if I can go now. Or am I going to run into it again? If it's a boundary there. It may not be a boundary. Yep, it's a boundary. So I can't even check that field. But you can see that one I could handle. Let's test a little bit of behind us and see if we could handle this hill. Okay, so I don't think it's a very good spot for a field, but so 5 miles an hour would be crawling up this hill. Look at that. So we definitely don't want to put nothing on something that steep per se. That is heck of a hill. I mean, it could make it. This little guy could. I don't know about some of the. Oops, see, it's a struggle though. Look at that. That is steep. Let's go in and see when we get in closer. I mean, that's a struggle. That's a heck, and then it's gonna be a like downhill mess. We could do it. Let's check this one over here. Let's see how steep that is. See, that's my issue. So some of these I'm gonna have trees on. Ain't nothing I can do. It's just big. It's going. 5 miles an hour, baby. I don't know if the now that stopped. It stopped up there about. Sometimes my keyboard just does that, so it worked. And then I was thinking over here we can do some. See, that's a little better area there, a little flatter. You don't have to go all the way up the hill. We could try to put trees up here. We're going to have a few more over there, but I want to leave a little bit of room where you can see out there, because that's pretty. So then, see, these would be good spots for fields. So that'll work. So I guess that's going to be good. We'll have to check the boundary. If we have to move it further in, we will. And there'll just have to be some over here on these. But you can see from up here, if we put a shed at the top of the hill there, near the house, they got a shed and then they got two fields, and the fields look okay. So, I think that's pretty good. I guess what we'll do then is call that good on this episode. We'll do some painting and stuff later, obviously. But, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I'm trying to get out of the way so I can see it. Alright, but we're going to call that an episode here. I think that'll do for the field shapes on this one. We'll move the boundary. If it works out good, then we'll keep it that way. If not, we'll move it. We'll have to move everything forward a little bit. We'll see. It may change later, so I don't know. We'll do painting and driveways and all that stuff later. But I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.